We're in today with a different type of computer, actually with a different type of video card and a computer, and I've been waiting for a very long time to actually have this computer on, but nevertheless, let me jump in and explain what I have today. So first off, we're gonna talk about the video card. It's a Quadro FX500. This is an AGP video card, and it's got 128 megabytes of VRAM. It's running at 270 megahertz on the core clock, memory 243 megahertz on the memory clock, 128 bits, DirectX 9, 4 pixels, 2 vertex, and this is DDR1. The GPU was released in 2003, and it's at 150 nanometer the technology. This is a very old video card. Today we're gonna use this Pentium D945. This is actually a good CPU because the original CPU that came with this mainboard was a Pentium 4 516 at 2.9. Now on this case that we have today, the LGA775 Pentium D runs at 3.4. and it's got 2 cores and 2 threads. Now the main board that we're gonna test video cards on this computer, it's a 4-core dual SATA 2 ASRock, and it's using 2 gig of DDR1 in dual channel. That's it. I think this is the only thing I can say. The ASRock mainboard has PCI Express and AGP socket. It's running with DDR2 and DDR1 memory, but not at the same time. You have to select one bandwidth in which you are going to operate. Now, on the CPU side with this mainboard, with this ASRock, I think there's a couple of quad-core CPUs that is working. I think there is a 6700 quad-core that is supported, and a couple of more from the same branch. But I want to test in the future more CPUs if you think it's worth it. But I think this dual-core Pentium D945, it was the best thing that I had regarding the FSB from this genre of CPUs. So with this video card, the problem is it doesn't show me the temperature, and it's pissing me off, seriously. I don't even know if I can I put the fan on? I don't even know if it's working. Regardless, maybe overclock it. No overclocking, because I know it will crack. Okay, let's jump into Unreal Tournament. I think this is from 2004. I don't even know resolution. I think it's 800 by 600, 32 bits, normal texture. There's a lot of settings that I have. Do I have VSync? Yeah, we've got a lot of boards. And finding a couple of older games and playing it with okay, sorry. I have like 80 FPS on this game, and it's kind of blast to actually play the game. Oh, with this video card, apparently 200, but I can't see the load on the GPU because it's kind of freaky. And the CPU on this computer, it's kind of cool, you know, it's got like 60% load on both of the cores. You know, sometimes one of the cores is just going around 80%, but it's not exceeding the overall load on this game. Unreal Tournament 2004. This is kind of fun. So on the GPU side, comparing it to the CPU, I think it's not the same because I can't see the load. But I wish I had how should I say, the load on that video card, because it will have told me many things, you know, to see if the GPU it's enough, you know, to deliver the FPS. But if the CPU is not loaded, then that means the GPU is the culprit on our case. That's the only thing I can say. Currently, on the system RAM, we got like 710 megabytes of system RAM use from 2 gig. It's in dual channel, you know, the memory, but you need to know that you need at least around 1 gig of DDR1 if you want to have it in an older computer. And it's possible to find it. I managed to get I got 2 sticks of 1 gig in this computer, and it's good. Okay, so let's try Far Cry. I think this is the game that managed to show me how bad the CPU it is. So the Pentium 4 516, it showed me here 100% constant. Even though the GPU is mega loaded, I think I'm now in a better situation than previously with the Pentium 4. At least how should I say, the CPU is not bottlenecking. The system RAM is 1 gig of system RAM. So how should I say, I'm off the hook. And the only thing that is the problem with 20 FPS, it's the GPU. So I wanted to eliminate as many bottlenecks from this computer as possible. I'm on 800 by 600 with high details in Far Cry. Okay, so I put it on low details. I think it will, some of the details will be implemented after a restart. But yeah, I think even like this, it's enough. Got like 30-40 FPS. It's working really nice. The CPU is not loaded, you know, so then I can really enjoy the game, you know. But it shows me what I have to do in the future with what GPU I have to put in the future, you know. I want to appreciate. So in our situation, apparently with this amount of FPS, we can actually see that the system RAM is nearly to 1 gig of system RAM. Can't wait to put more video cards. Can't wait to see other video cards, how they are performing. Because if I want to increase the resolution, there's no point, you know. Majority of the time, back in the days was like this, 1024, 800 by 600. Those are the resolution that I had back in the days, you know. So there's no point of actually trying to force this video card and this system with 1080p. No, I don't need it, and there's no point on actually doing that. This is exactly how it needs to run, you know, with 800 by 600, and you just have to juggle the resolutions, the texture quality, and that's it. How much VRAM this game is using from the video card? 58 megabytes of VRAM. That's nothing, seriously. I'm gonna test Need for Speed Porsche. I think this is the 5th one, in 2000 or something, and it's 3 years before this GPU came out, you know. But we're gonna test it with 800 by 600, widescreen, car details, everything, every detail it's on with this, and hopefully we get nice FPS. I'm interested in creating an old system where we can play some older titles, older games, and hopefully everything will be okay in the future with other video cards, you know. Maybe bump resolution, but I want to be consistent today with 800 by 600. Let's jump in and see how it's working. Oh my god, this is the biggest nostalgia trip ever, seriously. Look at this, 60 FPS constant with this computer. Oh, back in the days, non-stop. Oh yes, having 3D FX video cards in your computer and other kinds of AGP video cards, PCI. I had actually PCI Express was not back in the days. AGP. Woo! Oh, I love this. All right, so what do you think? 65 FPS on this. Oh my god, can barely know how to drive this. Can't remember how it was back in the days, but regardless, on the FPS, I'm kind of good, you know, to have this amount of FPS. System RAM, it's only 500 megabytes of system RAM used with this computer, but I see something really interesting. It's only 1 core is used, you know. So if I put a quad core CPU with this game, it will not use it, because actually it's gonna use it, but you can actually see it's only the 2nd core that is maxed out, 99%, 90%, 100. Barely, the 1st core is barely used to up to 30% time to time. Doesn't matter, you know. I think in the future, if I want to test another video card, I need to have that load on the video card. Oh my god, that's so hard. I like how it's working with 800 by 600. I think this is one of those games that allows you to play with this system, you know. I think it's an overkill. Actually, I wish I had a better CPU. But what CPU do I have to put in order to not be bottleneck here? Seriously. I forgot that you can actually move the tachometer. You can put this one here and here. Hey, look, I'm playing Need for Speed Porsche. Best thing ever. Oh, I love this. I'm so happy I can actually play the game like this. Alright, so 800 by 600 high details. Let's see how this underground is working. because it's a fantastic game. It's one of those games that need to be played in such a way because it just triggers the nostalgia. So on 800 by 600 with high details, I think this game just gives you that PlayStation 2 vibes. So I think if I can maintain 30 FPS, then I'm on the right track, you know. So let's see how we're doing. CPU wise, apparently you can actually see it's tickling with 60% on the first core. Let's jump in and see how it's running. 30 FPS. Oh yeah. Oh my god, this is exactly what I need. Brilliant performance, seriously. So apparently it doesn't deviate from... I was looking... I'm not joking. I was looking at the MSI Afterburner on. Definitely I lost my practice here. I will not be surprised if I'm not winning the game because... oh, yes, this is it. Why should I play new games when I can play my old titles? This is what my soul needs with this computer, seriously. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm on 50. The only thing I can see is around 60 FPS, 60% on the CPU. The CPU is doing a fantastic job, so I think there is no problem with the CPU and the GPU. So lagging is out of the question with this computer. Can't see nothing under, how should I say, 30 FPS. Actually see 40 FPS, 50 FPS. Why I'm seeing 50 FPS? I thought it was VSync to 60 FPS. 600 megabytes of system RAM, it's from this computer used. No, God. This was my first run from this game. I was so happy with the how the game was working, you know, and I managed to hit the car just at the end and ruin the race. I thought I would have a nice race with my beautiful yellow Golf 3. I'm so happy to have this computer, seriously. I have so many video cards that I want to test in this genre, seriously, with AGP and all the titles. Regardless, playable FPS. In this computer, 30 and 60 FPS are achievable. How should I say? It's the dream FPS, if you're asking me. On the core side, the Pentium D945 is actually doing a fantastic job, but apparently every single time I'm looking at it, I notice that I only need one fast core for this type of games. So when it comes to retro gaming, I need to say only one thing. From Clancy's Splinter Cell. That's it. It's one of those games that runs on this system. It's quite interesting because it doesn't bottleneck the CPU, and at the same time, it gives you a lot of entertainment if you're interested in, I think it's 800 by 600 with low details. Let's put just a little more brightness. What do you think? So 50 FPS on average with this computer, it's, how shall I say, it's a dream FPS. This is not something you complain, you know, with this amount of FPS, you say thank you. You're not complaining. On the memory, on the system, we got like 600 megabytes of system RAM, and that's actually not bad, you know, because the maximum amount we have, what, 2 gig of system, 2000 megabytes of system RAM. So this is okay. Both of the cores are doing an awesome job, you know, so I can't complain about the CPU. This is the only CPU, apparently this is the first game that's using properly the cores. So yes, apparently this is one of those games that will benefit if I had a better video card. Definitely entertaining if you want to play an old title like this with an old hardware like this. It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of, how should I say, the library for this type of games is kind of big, and there's a lot of things you can explore with this hardware. Right, let's see.
Sam, Grim's daughter here. I say jump. Don't ask how high, just do it. You should get through this fine. There's a room directly across the hall. Go there now. Damn, sorry about that. Get back into the hall and go to the stairwell at the far end. Make it fast. You've only got a few seconds.
Okay, so we are doing really nice with the system. $50 FPS, it's kind of good. 600 FPS, it's not that bad, but performance-wise, this is exactly the numbers that I'm looking, and hopefully I will get more FPS in the future with other video cards. More FPS with better video cards, maybe. I mean, maybe we actually find a couple of older video cards.
Contact is in this room. Let's hope to God he's still alive.
Yes, bring back a lot of memory, and I'm 100% you can find every single game like this from the genre on an old PlayStation or a Xbox, and I think it's challenging to see old titles like this. Mentally, it changes you. You know, if you're like, man, I have an old computer and I'm seeing it with 45 FPS with 600 megabytes of system RAM used. The CPU is on 50% load, and hopefully the GPU can do the job. You know, so you can see the load on the GPU, but it's only using 15 megabytes of VRAM. Okay, not okay. I don't know. Hopefully I can fix that problem. Maybe if you know how to make this show properly, it will be ideal. I think I have to find an old MSI afterburner. Okay, let's test Serious M. I think this is one of those games that it's still capable of being played on the system. I got like 60 FPS, around 60 FPS, and I'm on, like I said, with 800 by 600 because this is the most OG resolution for this genre. Maximum details, I mean quality on it, and hopefully we get some nice entertainment with this, because this is one of those games that actually works on this. Like Unreal Tournament.
Yeah, it's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye.
This is banana, seriously. Okay, so how are we doing with this Pentium? Because I know that I'm gonna have some problems with in the future. Apparently 60% is the maximum load on the CPU. System RAM, it doesn't pass 600 megabytes of system RAM, so there is no problem. Can see the GPU load because of stupid MSI afterburner, but I like overall the situation, how it's in the game, like around 100 FPS. 100 FPS, actually 60 FPS. Actually, I don't understand what's going on. Sometimes it's 100 FPS, sometimes it's 60 FPS. The MS is good though. If you're having an AGP video card, what do you want more? It goes there. It goes straight to the soul. Seriously. Building an old computer, slapping in an AGP video card like this, looking at that Core 1 and Core 2 and like, yeah, this is how it needs to be played, seriously. I want to bring more games, more hardware, more video cards, more CPUs, all kinds of stuff, because it's just a lot of things that needs to be covered from this point of view. I think the CPU is quite fantastic. I was afraid that it will bottleneck and this one will not be okay, but apparently the CPU did okay in my point of view. Now when it comes to the GPU with this Quadro FX500 / FX600, I think is just the beginning. It was 800 by 600, but it doesn't matter. I like that resolution because it just brings back old memories. But I think there's a couple of GPUs, even though it's on AGP, that are capable of higher resolution. Can't wait to show you more video cards, and hopefully you are going to enjoy it, seriously.